Hello guys, so with me here I have the Honda Civic 1.8S today. So yes, as mentioned in my bio, we are going to go through what are the differences between the 1.5 turbo and this one here. First things first, let's start with the engine. So yes guys, this is the 1.8 liter R18 engine. It produces about 143 brake horsepower with about 175 newton meters of torque. Of course, it isn't as powerful and punchy as the 1.5 liter turbo that produces around 172 horsepower with 220 newton meters of torque, about there. But one thing about this engine is when you're cruising at high speeds, it feels a bit more roomier than the 1.5 given the higher cubic capacity. Yeah, to those who know what I'm saying, you all know it. Yeah. To put it in simple terms, let me just say, for the 1.5 turbo to actually touch 160 or 170 kilometers per hour, it does it way faster than this 1.8 liter engine. But when you have actually reached those speeds with this engine, it's rather more relaxed at those speeds rather than the 1.5 turbo, because given the cubic capacity, yeah. Another thing would of course be the lights. In the 1.8S you get the halogen projector headlamps, whereas in the 1.5 turbocharged premium you get a full LED headlamp alongside full LED fog lamp. In fact, you still get the same pair of headlamps in the 1.8S with the mid-spec turbo. Moving on to the rims guys, you get the 16-inch alloy rim on this car on the 1.8, whereas you get a slightly bigger 17-inch rim in the 1.5 turbo. Of course, both the turbos have the same 17-inch rims, but this one has thicker profile tires, which means it won't be as punishing whenever you hit a pothole. But you know, a bigger rim would be nice though. Okay guys, let's step inside. So what are the differences inside here? That startup procedure never gets boring though. Okay guys, so in the 1.5 turbo, you get a full leather trim, whereas in the 1.8 you get a fabric trim. Oh, it feels like the cushiony kind of fabric lah. But of course guys, you can go and change it outside if you want lah. And yes, in the 1.5 turbo full spec, you get a dual zone air conditioning unit. And yes, this car does have rear vents also, but you know, it's not controllable given this being a single zone air conditioning. Yeah, you guys get it. Another feature that the 1.5 turbo comes with is pedal shifters, and this one does not have it. However, they have given you a low gear, though many do not use it, but it can be useful when you're going downhill from, let's say, Genting, or let's say it's a icy road. Really doesn't make sense in Malaysia, I know guys, but yeah, those are the scenarios that you can use them. It doesn't really shift to higher gears when you put it there. Yeah, economy, but... And another thing would be, okay, this is a very minor thing. In fact, some of you people will not notice it, but in the 1.5 turbo, there's a compartment light over here. Whereas in the 1.8, you didn't get that. In fact, there's a lot of things that, you know, even the 1.5 turbo does not have lights in the glove compartment. Does not have lights in the mirror also. I mean, come on guys. Come on guys, regardless 1.8 or 1.5, all three variants still cost way above 100,000. So, Honda, please. Furthermore guys, in the 1.5 turbo, the top spec, of course, you do get a navigation system in the infotainment system. The 1.8 and the 1.5 mid-spec does not come with a navigation though. However, you can have it installed outside, of course. But that would cost you, and in a generation where we have Waze and Google Maps, I don't think that would be necessary, guys. But if it had the feature, that would be a fancy touch though. You can just show off to your friends, hey look guys, my car has a map. Okay guys, back to the pricing part. Now they are way cheaper officially. However, in 2016, the base spec would have cost you about 118,000 ringgit. The mid spec would have cost you about 125,000 ringgit, whereas the 1.5 turbocharged premium was about 134,000 ringgit. So yeah guys, that's the pricing. And you know, I would say the 1.8 is pretty well equipped. It's not exactly as downgraded as the Thailand spec versions, where the glove box does not even have a damping, so when you open it, it just falls into your feet. So yeah guys, I think that's about it for today. Stay tuned.